What's up, guys? Yale Greenfield, aka the Live King, back with another episode of the Poker Vlog. Poker media has been on absolute fire with the latest controversy. But today, I'm going to stay out of that. I'm going to leave it to Joey Ingram, Doug Polk, your favorite experts. We're just going to do a regular poker vlog today, and I'm going to start it out with a food review. And this place that I want to review today is called Courage Bagels in Silver Lake. And as one restaurateur told me, if you want the best high-end fancy bagel in the country, you got to go to Courage Bagels. What they're doing is a Montreal-style bagel. Their featured bagel is a burnt everything bagel. That was not my favorite. Mine was their sea salt and sesame bagel. You got to get the lox and the cream cheese and the tomato. They're really bringing it together so well and in such a unique way that you absolutely want to get over to this spot. I promise you, you'll love it. Outside of that, I went to my first concert at the Hollywood Bowl. It was Jamie XX and Caribou. If you're into that type of music, that's something that I really enjoy. Hope you're enjoying some of these LA things that I've been featuring on the vlog. I'm probably gonna be hitting the road relatively soon, but today we're gonna go into the Bicycle Casino, play a little 510, a little 510-20, and I will see you guys at the end of the session. Just a little late on the recording here, but what we've got is a hijack open to 60, and we've 3-bet ace queen offsuit to $210 from the button. The hijack's gonna call. It's a good flop for us, ace king 9 rainbow, but hijack does something weird. He kind of tanks for 10 seconds before eventually checking it over to me. We've got a pretty easy bet here, so I go with $150. Now the hijack raises to $350. I mean, what the fuck? This isn't even a thing. Like, I have no idea what's going on. Getting check raised on ace king 9 is the 3-better. And this flop scenario is kind of like live poker 101. People just take you to the wildest places time and time again, and what we have to do is try to figure out what is happening and just play the best we can. So I go ahead and call. Turns a 6 of diamonds, so very little changes. Now hijack goes with a block bet, $350 once again, and we go ahead and call. Pretty easy, relatively standard. And now the king pairs on the river, so we got 1855 in the middle. 1,000. And now he's fired out $1,000. This guy's been playing pretty wild and pretty off book the entire session, but the sample's really, really small. I don't know what to make of the small turn size followed by the nominally bigger river size. I'm just in an extreme state of confusion here. Really, really tough and weird live poker spot in my opinion. Getting a nice price with a pretty good hand, but not feeling great about it. This is a uncharacteristically long tank by me. I think all in all, we actually arrived somewhat low in range, and we're gonna have better hands, ace king, pocket 9s, pocket aces, pocket kings. We're gonna have so many strong hands in sequence. So I eventually decided to fold. This hand starts off with a cutoff limp. We've got ace 5 of hearts on the button, and we've raised to $90. Cutoff calls. This is an unknown opponent. He's been pretty passive thus far. We get ace 8-7 rainbow, and he checks it over to us. I go ahead and check back for deception this time. Turns a king of hearts, so we add the nut flush draw to our top pair. Now the cutoff, a passive guy, goes with a big size of 160. We don't really have any choice with the top pair and nut flush draw, so I go ahead and call. River's a jack of diamonds. Now the cutoff goes with 375. So again, a slightly annoying spot for me. 10-9 gets in, queen 10 gets in. We block some of the heart draws he could potentially have that would contain a 5, of course. And the passivity of this player has me really questioning if I want to make this river call. Theory would probably say we should. My live poker intuition is telling me this might not be the spot to call this guy down. So I follow my gut and fold, and I make a mental note to watch this guy's bet sizing going forward. This hand occurs about 30 minutes after the prior one. We've made a couple of questionable tight folds so far, but I'm using live reads and some other factors. And I'm going to try to use this data I've been collecting against my opponents to my advantage in the future. In this one, the cutoff limps, and we've got 2 queens on the button.
90.
We shoot it up to $90. The cutoff limper is the same opponent from the prior ace-5 hand. He's going to call. He checks it over to us on this ace-high board. We check it back. Turns to 7 of hearts, 215 in the middle. And once again, he leads, but this time for 100. In the last hand, he led 160, which was a bigger proportion of the pot size. We go ahead and call. River's an ace. That's a pretty good river for our hand all in all. And he quickly leads 200. Again, not a huge nominal bet. We go ahead and quickly call. And he puts it in the muck. Doesn't show us his hand. But I would like to point out that I think the smaller nominal bet sizing in this hand, more indicative of a bluff, and our fold in the ace-5 hand might have been actually good given the sizes he picked and the differences between the 2 hands. What's up, guys? Little mid-session update here. Currently down $925. Things not quite going the way I would hope. Couple of the action players have been stacked and or have cycled out. There is a pretty big list. I think a must-move game might get going a little bit later tonight. What I'm gonna do now is take a break, get a little bit of fuel, probably drive up the road to Chipotle, come back and hop back in the 5-10-20 game. We're back from our break and this game is completely fired up. We've gotten very lucky to find a game of this quality. We've got a guy blind raising it $80 to $100 in like half the hands. And in this one, we're on the button, but we've posted the small blind of $5. We make it $90 with ace-8 offsuit. Now this holding's pretty sus. I wouldn't really recommend doing this. I'm not sure I should have done this. We're gambling. Here we are.
I'll give you action.
He wants to give us a little bit of action. He calls. And we get an ace-8-7 2 spades board, top 2, against a guy who's practically playing every hand blind. That's the dream scenario.
Oh, come on, not too much.
Not too much?
No. Not too much, it means 100, not 200.
That means when I do that, it means you want me to bet big, right?
Bet 100, I call.
Okay. You want me to take back?
Yeah.
I'll split the difference with you. 150?
Yeah.
All right, 150.
Maybe I got some.
Well, I make 150.
What is it, 150?
Yeah, 150.
Okay. 150, I call.
Okay.
It's too much, you know?
So after some banter and negotiation, we settle on $150 together. He puts in the call, and it's a 3 of hearts turn. He's checked it again.
All right, no deals this street. I'm just going to play regular, okay?
I check.
Okay.
Small amount.
That's small. Just the right amount for my... It's a good amount for my hand, I promise.
How much is that?
4.
That's a small amount.
So I bet 400, as you can see, and he does eventually put in the call after significant banter once again, and a queen of clubs river changes basically nothing.
My card is not 10.
No, didn't hit.
I check.
He checks it over for a 3rd time, and I think given all his speech play about him wanting me to bet small, he's actually got a very strong hand is my guess. I should maybe overbet or do something huge, but I settle on 800. Not sure I like this in hindsight, but it's probably fine.
800, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm going to give a donation.
Greatest nation of all.
800, right?
Yeah.
Donation.
After we reveal our top 2, he shows that he turned 2 pair with ace-3. Pretty nasty turn for him, but we'll take it.
Nice, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks,
My 20?
Yeah.
In this hand, we are the straddle with ace-jack offsuit. Our opponent from last hand, the button, limps 20. Small blind completes. Big blind also completes. And now it's time to punish the limpers. We go upstairs, 200 to go. I think this is a little bigger than I'd normally go, but the button is basically not folding any hand, so let's charge him. He does put in the call. Everyone else folds, and we get to go heads up. And it's 8-7 deuce, rainbow. Now, I think this is a better board for him than us, but I also think he's got the entire deck, and I get a little confused here and go for a bet of 115, which I think is a mistake. I think it's just best to start with a check and probably call nearly any bet from the button. But here we are, mistakes do happen. And the button does put in the call. Turn is an 8, certainly a better card for the button than us, and we quickly check. Now he fires a little less than half pot for 300, and while he can have an 8, it's also less likely he has one when they pair. He's got hands like 10-9, Jack-9, 6-5. This guy's got the deck, so I put in the call. Want to see a river here. River double pairs, and we check it over to him. And he reaches super quick for a bet of 500. I do my best Robbie impersonation here and put in the call. And he shows us that he took us straight to value town by value betting a 7 with a 10 kicker. 8s and 7s 10 kicker is good against our 8s and deuces with ace high.
Ace queen.
Something like that.
Well played by him.
Good value bet.
I know you have ace.
We've got the beautiful queen jack of hearts in the straddle position. Under the gun opens a 60. Action is on the hijack. He's had about 10 coronas. And he does call. Now it's on the button, the guy we've been battling repeatedly. He makes it $160. And I don't think this is really indicative of strength per se. Queen jack of hearts is a really good hand. I want to continue.
Raise.
So I put in the cold 4 and make it 500 to go. And now it folds back to the button.
Why you do that?
It's just 500.
Call check it down.
I'd rather just play.
I call check it down. Call check it down.
I don't like doing it. I don't really. I'd rather play. I don't care. You could call, raise, fold. I don't really want to play check down game.
So after asking us to check it down, he does eventually decide to call, which is frankly no great surprise. We got a pretty good flop. 10-9-4. We have a backdoor flush draw and an open-ended straight draw. I think against a whale, I want to deviate from traditional sizing and just sort of pile in money when we've got equity like this. So I bet $600.
600? Yeah. How much you play in total?
About 19 behind the 6.
How much total is there? 19?
And 19.
Around 2000?
Yeah.
25. We did 25.
I'm on it.
You're all in?
And he goes all in after asking us how much we have behind. We snap it off. Just too much equity against this guy. He can have any two. Jack of diamonds on the turn, giving us top pair. And a 3 of clubs brick. He shows 10-5 of hearts, so he flopped top pair.
Queens?
Jack.
Jack.
Jack is king. Flop, no?
But the equity is pretty close on the flop, so happy to bet get it in, and more than that, happy to win a $6,000 pot. Let's go.
Raise.
We start out here ISOing the hijack limper, which is the guy we've been in battle with. We make it 100 to go with queen 10 of hearts. Straddle's gonna call. He is a visiting pro from Hong Kong. And our buddy is gonna call, the guy we've been battling in every single hand so far today. So 3 ways, and it's 7-6-4, 2 hearts. They both check it over to me. And I think this is a board that's gonna favor them a little more than me. You can see we've got a good hand, but we're gonna mix it up this time. And rather than bet our equity, we're gonna check it. Jack of hearts, really good turn, so now we have a flush. The Hong Kong pro is gonna lead 180. The action player is gonna put in the call. And I think my standard here would be to call. I don't tend to play raises after checking back flops in this sequence. and this is no exception. I put in the call with a very disguised flush. We'll be looking to get more value on the river. Deuce of Hearts river putting 4 hearts out there. Not the best river for us. And now the Hong Kong Pro checks. It's on the action player. He's going to check. So I think we've got a value bet here. It's going to be hard to get them to call with much. I think we have to go with a small size. It's just a question of how small. I'm not great at these spots. I go for a really tiny bet of $200. The Hong Kong Pro snap folds. Now it's back on the action player.
Your flush is good.
And he was correct. Our flush was good. So we continue to stay hot, win another 1K plus pot. I feel like we keep getting good hands in the straddle over and over, and this time it's King Queen of Spades. We get a limp from the button. And the action player makes it 80 to go from the small blind. The guy to our right is either a pro or a for-profit player. Not really sure which, but either way, he's pretty solid. And he's going to raise to $280. Now, thing is here, he can easily be trying to isolate the action guy. This hand is really good. And again, I want to continue and just put pressure on everybody. I've also got position on both the opener and the 3-better. So I go with my second 4-bet of the day, this time to $850, trying to apply max heat. Folds back to the small blind here. I don't really mind if he calls because his range is so wide. I'm really more concerned about the big blind 3-better here. We're about 5,000 deep, effective with the other 2 players. Action player eventually decides on a fold, and it's a quick fold from the more solid player. Pretty good pickup here.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, we're like turning river too? I win.
You win.
Last hand of the night, we got 2 9s in the low jack. And make it 60. It's gonna fold to the button here, who is a pretty clueless recreational. Doesn't seem very aware. He's gonna put in the call. We're gonna go heads up to King 7-3, 2 diamonds. I start with the check. Button bets 60. When I check, this hand is a little too good to give up, so we put in the call. 6 of clubs on the turn. We check it over to the button again. And he's got a big pile of chips in front of him. You actually can't see how much he's playing. I don't know how much he's playing, neither does he. He doesn't really seem to care. Now he's got to stack up a bunch of chips to try to make what seems to be a bet that's coming. He fires 125. I don't know if it matters that he's done all this work by reaching into his stack to make his bet, whether it's an indication of strength or weakness. I think it could be either way, so I just go ahead and call one more time. Now we get an Ace of Hearts river. I'm gonna check for a 3rd time. He quickly checks. After we reveal our hand, he shows King Jack offsuit for the best of it. We lose a small one to end the night. Now I'm gonna kick it over to me to give you my thoughts on how this session went. Well, that was a roller coaster. Took that break, trying to find a better game, and found the absolute best game. I mean, it's really just that one guy is such a wild card. What I sort of dealt with today is really indicative of what it's like. I mean, I'd love to say like being a poker pro is so glamorous and I'm out here making content, showing everybody how great it is and whatever. And I think it certainly does have a lot of good to it. The freedom, I get to play a game for a living, but you also sometimes show up to work and you get into spots that aren't advantageous, aren't super profitable. You've already driven through the LA traffic, you don't want to go home, and some days just kind of turn into blah, you know? And today, I just got fortunate and was really lucky that I got into a game with a guy who is just a total legend and is just there to have fun. yeah, he's trying to beat you, but he loves buying raises, he loves action, he wants to drink some Coronas. It's almost like the kind of stuff you dream of if you're a poker pro or you're in a big city like Vegas or LA looking for great games. That was a really nice turn of events. I know several videos back kind of talked about how it hasn't been a great year for me, but things have really been turning here at the end of the year, and I'm gonna try to keep that going, and that's something that I'm quite happy about. If you're just catching me for the first time, make sure to check out my last vlog where I have a monster win and play my 3 biggest pots ever. Otherwise, let's just get to the results. I was down 925 in the first half of the session, took a break, came back, found another game, and won 3350. So minus 925 plus 3350, that's a profit of $2,425. Not a bad day. If you're enjoying this content, my producer and I certainly hope you are. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, give us any feedback. We'd really appreciate it. I will see you again soon, maybe in LA, maybe at an unidentified location. We'll see you soon. Live King out.